got it?
I think so, yes.
All right. I'd like to call the January 26, 2017 Sangerville Selectmen meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Full board is present. Melissa Randall, Dale Gray, Mike Wark, with our interim manager, Alvina Church. So stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Additions to the agenda. We have several. We have payroll warrant number 12 and warrant number 13. I'd like to add under Board of Road Commissioners Public Works update, discussion on roads during storms, and also a second discussion on grading on town roads. Anybody else got anything? Nope. Okay, open forum. Thank you. What?
I'm just going to give you a quick update because I'm here and I'm on the school board. There is a meeting tonight. I'm not there. I was supposed to be, but I chose to come here. The second meeting with Dexter. Hopefully Greenville's there, maybe Central. On doing some shared services or maybe building some type of comprehensive high school. Later down the road, obviously, it's just very early stages. I can't stress that enough. It's not going to be an overnight success. But those discussions are taking place because, as you know, our district up here keeps declining, and it's just, once you get under 150 kids in the high school, it's not very cost effective. And with the state the way they are, not giving money out like they're supposed to be, that doesn't help. So I just wanted to give you that quick update. We've started our budget process. We got a meeting next week, meeting with all the administrators and what they're bringing forward for numbers. Wish I had better news, but it's going to be a very tough budget cycle again. I guarantee. I promise you that. I'll write it down right now and date it. That's how guaranteed I am on it. But I'm very upbeat about these discussions with Dexter, with the comprehensive high school. We've looked at a couple of plans that are out there. There is money through the state. How many hoops you got to jump through, I don't know. It's not gonna. It won't be just a 9-12. They're either looking at a 9-14, maybe a 9-16 with some pre-college stuff to offer some of these kids. It might take a little bit longer. Tying it in with the tech schools. That's the comprehensive piece. So, and plus we're looking any type of shared services that we can do. So, I just want to give you that update on that.
Is there a separate committee around that? Or
basically, right now, the committees that are meeting are the buildings and grounds committees from each district. The superintendents all attend, and we bring that back to the full boards every month to report on that. Like I said, the second meeting is taking place tonight at the TCTC over in Dexter. I chose to come here because I want to get this taken care of too on this end. But so that's what's, and then, like I said, it's a long process. There's obviously a lot of things got to come to place. You know, you got to have dancing partners, obviously, to make it work. I know we've reached out to Greenville, Central. I don't know if they talked about Milo, but I'm not sure. That, again, geographically, that's the problem that a lot of these towns would have. I think also they might even reach to Dover, so that way kids don't feel they have to go to FA, right, if this does come to fruition. I mean, obviously, you know, buses go to Dexter right now, but if they do build this, it's not going to be in Dexter. It's going to be midway point if this happens. So like if Central comes in Greenville, you know, I don't know where that midpoint is with Dexter and Guilford as part of it, our district.
At least they're having a conversation.
Right, but I mean, all your elementary kids, your pre-K to 8 would stay in each districts. And then you would have, because like I said, right now, you're already busing those kids, not all of them, not all 150 high school kids, I'm saying, but you are busing,
a lot.
I think we send 20 over to the TCTC right now. So, and if you do that, you can expand that program. I know they're reaching out to Trimble to see what other ideas that they can bring forward from their end. You know, what ideas that we can put into this, you know, to help them for down the road so that work as a worker. So, but it's early stages. I'm upbeat about it. I'm very positive because we've got to do something.
Yep.
So, but
cool. Thanks.
Here's my spiel.
Okay, thank you. All right, so moving on, communications none. Item 6, approval of Selectmen's minutes. I'd like to make a motion that we approve January 10th, January 18th, and January 25th Selectmen's meetings and special selectmen's meetings minutes. Do I have a second? Any discussion? None? Let's take a vote. Okay. And
You can sign on
I do have some too. I'll get to it. All right. 3-0. Okay, let's leave unfinished business. Let's take it out of order and take item 8 right now, and do item 8A, Park Committee request. You're on.
Okay, well, thank you. This is Rhonda Taylor. She's part of our rec committee. We're meeting on basically the Wells property to develop it. We've had a couple meetings at this point. We've done a lot of research, and as you know, we've kind of started the project out there slowly, but we're gaining. What we would like to do at this point is finish that dirt area that now I'm drawing a blank. Who bulldozed? Levy bulldozed that got it to a state where we can at least York rake it, get the rocks out of it, and then we've got Gordon Construction, I think is what it's called now. It's not whatever, Howard's.
Ryan.
They're going to help us seed it. They've given us a plan and an idea how it's going to work. We've raised some money to this point, gone out soliciting some funds. Our goal is to get that done this year if we can. I don't see why we can't. The money's there, and moving forward with that. The other piece that we're looking at is to build a gazebo. So again, we want this place to be family oriented. So this is another piece we're looking at as a gazebo, where you can have concerts out there on a certain night of the week. If families want to come in and have family reunions, they can use that grassed-in area that we're building this, that we're going to finish up. Use a gazebo for whatever, weddings. We possibly could even charge for that to try to turn over some revenue for that. I know we did that in Dexter when I was over there for a short stint, as they rent their gazebos out, whether it be family reunions, weddings, whatever, they rent them out. And we can do that here to generate some revenue, to get some stuff, some of your revenue back or money back. So what we're here for tonight is updating basically where we are right now. We'd like to move forward with the gazebo. Like I said, we solicited some funds. We're still going to do that. We've got some fundraising ideas going forward. The first one coming up is going to be the fire department's fishing derby. We're going to try to sell some stuff down there, right there, as people go in and out. We've got a quote for a gazebo. It's just a quote, but it gave us a starting place to know where we're going to go. And it's around $20,000. It's going to be all vinyl. It'll be, it won't be nothing pressure treated. Composite flooring. So that costs more, but again, it's going to be lifetime. You're not going to have to worry about splinters or anything like that. Again, it'll be vinyl railings, vinyl siding on the post. So that won't be done. Won't have any wood. Yep, I do have a picture on my phone. Thank you. See why I bring it? No. This is not exact, but this is an idea what we're looking at. Okay. It'll be handicap accessible. It's going to be about a foot off the ground, so that the ramp doesn't have to kind of overtake the gazebo. I can pass that on. It's not going to have the double roof, okay, everybody? It's 16 by 24. It's not going to have the double roof, so it's just going to have one roof, okay? And again, it'll be handicap accessible. Keep it about a foot off the ground. That way the ramp for your handicap is not going to be all kinds of this and kind of take away from the gazebo. The only thing we're kind of toying with is whether to use cedar shingles for the roof. They can be costly, but they'll last longer, they claim, versus asphalt, which is basically a regular shingle. That's the only thing we're kind of toying with at this point, what to do at that point. Because if you have something happen to your cedar, you're going to have to replace it. But the quote we got for the cedar shingles, they're supposed to be lifetime, but we'll see. We don't know on that deal yet. So what we're here for is, we noticed in the town report at our last meeting that there's some money in the Sangerville Days account. And we didn't know if there would be a possibility of getting our hands on some of that money or all of it, whatever you folks decide to do, to help us get started. And also show the townspeople that we are moving forward and we're trying to do something down there other than just sitting on it for years and years and years. And it's not just going to be an open field, that we're trying to do family-oriented type stuff. One of the other things, I just want to mention it because I thought of it. We're looking to do walking path along the perimeter of the water, of the land, okay? Maybe some exercise stuff in here, picnic table here, picnic table there, so that people can... And also open up the public beach area a little bit better than what's there now, so that you can have a little more visibility. maybe moving the gate down there so that you can have control in the evenings, and that they have, or not even a gate, maybe some big rocks so that the cars have to park up in the visible area. Does that make sense? If you need to see it, I do have a quick, okay, just to show you the area so you can see it, okay? That way we have a little more control of that public beach and stuff. Obviously, with what we've done, we've worked with the snowmobile people too so that they can get their groomers and stuff through no problem. It's not going to affect the snowmobile trails or anything like that. But if, again, family-oriented, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, all those ideas are out there.
Good, Jimmy.
So,
And I mean, it's a work in progress. We can't do it all at once.
Right.
You know, we've got to choose what are we going to fund this year and get it
Right.
done. And our goal is to do it all through donations, grants, that type of stuff. And the one thing that we do need to know is that the town of Sangerville will be willing to accept the grants for the name, for the park, because it has to be. With Maine Community Foundation, I've been working with Laura Reed. She used to be Laura Armstrong,
Yep.
right across from there. They have money that they give, and we could get up to 10,000, but it has to be to a nonprofit or a 501c or a town or something. So, and I mean, I'm willing to do the grant, write it, do the paperwork that goes with it, but we have to know that the town's willing to accept it. That's all.
Yeah, one of the things that we've talked about for several years is to fund the money to start a 501c, the Economic Development Corporation for the town, to be the holding company of these things so we can use it. Because they've told us outright, if it's town-owned, you can't get money because you can tax for it. So it would have to be a little...
Well, maybe some of them, I did not get that vibe from Laura.
Yeah.
I think we can get it without being a 501c.
Well, when we went for the...
Because the town of Greenville just got $10,000 just for helping design their downtown from the Maine Community Foundation.
Cool.
And I'm actually going on 15th of February, they actually have a meeting. I don't know if anyone from the town is going, but you probably should, at the Masons Hall in Guilford. And I think it starts at like 7:30 in the morning, just to see about Piscataquis County, what people are looking for, what they want to do here, because they know we're a dying area. And Maine Community Foundation is actually going to be there speaking. And they have a lot of good programs out there, and there's money to be had. You just have to start looking for it. So, and our goal is not to ask taxpayers for this money. I mean, only because that money's already sitting there. You know, it's already been funded, that we're here tonight saying, hey, can we...
We've tried 2 years running to turn it back into undesignated, and it's never quite worded right, so the auditor won't do it. So yeah, there's 16.5 sitting there. What do you guys think?
the other thing we're looking to do too is
And we've already gotten 5,400 from businesses that
Right.
have, and we're, you know, and we're looking to send out another letter. But again, in order to get people to donate, we need to know that the town is backing this whole project. The whole idea is to turn it into a park, not a ball field. And you know, if you look at what goes on there in the summertime, that place is packed. And it's not just Sangerville residents. You've got tournaments from kids coming from Central, from Dexter, from, you know, there's so many things that we can do there. And it's not going to cost the taxpayers money, but you can't develop it all at once. We've got to do it step by step by step, you know, to do this. So, and Maine Community doesn't fund capital projects, but they'll fund projects to support what you're doing. So we just have to word it correctly. And it can, I mean, and there's other grants out there besides Maine Community, but I know that I think we can get them to help out with the whole idea of it.
and yeah, we want to get bathrooms there too, so that we don't have to use the porta potties anymore.
Right.
Instead of spending that $1,000 or more a year, you can.
And I think if we get the gazebo in place, we can say, you know, now we're going to provide concerts in the park once a month. We need bathrooms to support this program, and that's where Maine Community would come in to help us do that.
Yeah.
Because you need to say, you need the money to support a program you already have going. So we need to get the gazebo in place to say, all right, now we need to have bathrooms there, especially for the elderly that might want to come to the... So I think we can get them to help with the bathroom portion of it if we can get the gazebo part in place. It's just a step-by-step process, and we, again, you can't do it all at once. A lot of great ideas, it's just we've got to...
And we might be able to get some of the material donated instead of money from some of the people. I know we've already...
Labor.
Yeah, and the labor, so... The quote we got was from Brian Smith, so, and to me, that's very reliable. He does great work, so. I don't know if anybody's seen what's on top of Center Theater down there, the coffee house, he did that. Just to give you some idea of his work.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they were between 50 and 60 at
Yeah.
Home Depot just to buy the kit, and then you had to put it
Right.
together yourself. So.
So.
I would suggest that we put it on as a warrant article for up to 16.5 out of the Sangerville Days Fund. And then that can be negotiated out with the town at town meeting, how much you actually walk away with. And if we could take the picture of the proposed gazebo and
Yeah.
then a write-up.
Well, I've got a blank one here, but we can,
Yeah, and then a write-up of what you've just said
Mm-hmm.
to put as a page in the town report to explain it all out. And would be the way I was just going about
That's
it.
what I would,
Because then it's not us deciding, it's the town, and you would have that vote of the town then donating a certain amount of money, you know, be it 5,000 or 16.5, you know, whatever, or somewhere in the middle. To go to the main community foundation or whatever and say, here, the town's interested in doing this.
well, to me, at the same time, that's what Ron needs as far as knowing the town and the grants.
That would be
Well,
the,
That all
their grant
validates the whole
process
thing.
it's too late for this year. It ends February 15th, and,
Yeah.
and you know,
we're not,
but we could get into, if we can get the gazebo in place before the summer's over, we can be in for the next grant session and start asking for the money towards the bathrooms and
Right, but to me, if this goes as a warrant article and the townspeople approve it and vote, accept that, at the same token to me, that's saying we have town
Exactly,
approval.
exactly.
So to move the grants forward for next year,
Right.
so you could.
Right. And
Okay.
then we'll start digging deeper and looking for some more money in the grant process too. And again, I'm willing to do all the grant part of it, that doesn't.
Gosh, we love that.
okay, so does one of you want to make a motion that we?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we put it on a
All
warrant
right.
article.
How soon do you need it for the booklet? When do you?
We're starting the booklet right now, so if you could get it to me in a couple of weeks, that would be really good.
I'll
thank
go
you.
for it.
Okay,
Dale,
thanks.
I'll second it, let's take a vote. All right.
A
So,
question,
it's on.
you guys have some pretty involved plans, possible bathroom facilities, walk paths and things. Have you gotten together with Jerry to the planning board and seen maybe a 30,000 foot view of this thing so that you know what you can and can't do and how close you are to the water
We
and
had,
all that stuff?
God, 2 years ago, Melissa, we had, or you were there that day.
Yeah, we all went down there.
The inland fisheries came up, there's grant money through the state. And that's where we were gonna kind of for that walking path. Because they'd rather do something like that than like a green space that we're talking about right this second.
Right.
So it's basically just a perimeter of the, I
Sure.
don't know what the.
And then they had that handicap fishing pier was the part I loved the best of
Yeah.
it. They had,
There
we
was
talked
there was a
about
lot. There was all kinds of, whether you hot topped it, whether you put stone, whether you put. Obviously, you're going to want it hard enough so that a wheelchair person can go through. But that's as far as it, you know. We looked at it. We kind of had a diagram because it's on the. I wish we had one of those brochures. I had one right at home, and I didn't bring it.
I got it.
But there is a red line. If you can find that brochure, if somebody
Yeah.
happens to have one, it shows a red line basically around the whole perimeter, kind of like starting up by the bridge, walking the water line all the way around to where the public beach is and keeps going through the woods and right down where our line is. And basically follows the fences right up through, because that line is what, 10 feet, Peter? On the side of those fences, I think? It's very close anyway, but it goes the whole perimeter, okay?
Do we have town water up there? No.
No.
So you're going to need a
Stop.
leach field.
Well, there is a
ultimately-
field there.
Okay.
There's a field and a tank there. The only thing we can't find is the well, and nobody seems to know where it really is exactly.
We need to find a water witch.
Well, that's what somebody said, take the stick and do the trick, but hopefully we'll find it. I mean, I've checked with a couple of contractors that lived in this town all their life, and they said there's one there, we just can't seem to find the casing of it.
Right.
So,
That's all. It seems like you got some pretty cool ideas.
but we're
You wouldn't
hoping
want
to
to be
leach.
stepping on yourself.
Once we got ready to build that, we would obviously have to meet with Mr. Tozier,
Yep.
make sure that field's going to accommodate what we're looking at. I'm just looking at 2 holes, to be honest with you, a men and a woman. That way it's less maintenance, and plus you're going to want to shut that down in the winter anyway,
Right.
because we're not going to heat it. You're just going to.
And you're probably still gonna want a porta potty there, you know, for when they're playing the ball games. and
Right,
stuff,
if you got-
especially on the back
you got-
field
right.
portions of it too.
I like the walking path idea. I was surprised this summer especially, I noticed in the evenings on a good night when you went by, there was always old, and it wasn't the same couple, but there was 3 or 4 different older couples that would walk around the inside of the basketball courts.
Well, the other thing you got to
Because
get
of
to is that
good footing and-
frisbee golf. It's frisbee golf. That was donated, but it was such a, I don't know what you want to call it, but very, I don't know. They didn't really do that good a job doing it. Hopefully, that's something we can redo.
Well, you know, the forestry part of that, I bet you anything that Sam Brown would donate his services to you.
without.
A lot of it's got to be chipped, I'm not chipped up, but just brush cut and different things like that. It's got to, but even when they put it in, it wasn't. They just kind of put it here, put it there, and
It didn't make sense.
yeah. I mean, I understand it was a grant, so it's great. Put it in, but at least try to
Make
Yeah.
right make
It
it
wasn't
work.
really
And
usable.
unfortunately, we didn't have the resource, and we really don't right now to maintain it.
Right.
And it's not picking on anybody or trying to throw anybody under the bus. We just don't have the resources to do it. It's something else you have to pay for to take care of. But I mean, again, if we could ever get it, I think that would draw.
Right.
So.
Well, very good. So if you can, in a couple weeks, get something to Alvina so we can put it in the town report, we'll give you your own page, and hopefully people will look at it. And I think it's a great idea.
I do too. I do too, Jim. Good job.
And I know, and the ice skating ring is still there. It was just.
I want the ice
but
skate,
it's-
I'm paying for the ice
But if right
skate.
now, if we had to just do snowbanks, that's what we'll do.
They did that years ago, remember that?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I remember that.
Loved it.
Once
when
one is
Derek
parked
was
in
here.
Dover, that gets rented out steady.
It's,
And
I
I
think,
think we can make it so that, if you're having concerts there once a month, you can offer every nonprofit in town, you want to do concessions tonight, you've got to keep the money. So it's not going to be a taxpayer type thing.
Yeah.
And pass the bucket at the friggin' ball games when they're going on, whatever.
You get all
collect.
kinds of use. I'm
Right.
always amazed when I come through there. It seems like almost every night somebody's there.
But if we can turn it into more than a ball field, that would be great.
yeah.
And people think of it more like they think of the Kiwanis parking.
Right,
As
yeah.
a destination spot.
Right.
So-
I like that as well.
Park in Dexter when they
Right,
those
when they have the
bands.
concerts,
Yeah.
right, and I
All
mean,
summer they do.
and that's the whole idea of keeping it low to the ground so that the older people can come have an evening, and bring the town together instead of throwing.
Well,
them apart.
again, I'm not trying to throw Guilford on the bus, but their gazebo in their park is nice. And the prom pitches are huge up there. But if your grandmother or somebody's in a wheelchair, they can't get up into that gazebo.
No.
So, again, this is why we want to, everything's, I don't want to take anything away from anybody. It's just, that's why we're trying to keep it low to the ground so that you can, those ideas were in the back of our head when we were thinking
The
that way.
bathrooms would have to be handicap
Yeah.
accessible. too.
I mean, theirs in Guilford, it's cute to drive by, and it's cute for two people to go get a picture, but it's not a usable, I mean, the one you guys are proposing, that's big enough to have a use,
Right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know?
And we've looked at different areas where we kind of walk through down there where exactly we want to put it because of the sun. If you have an evening concert, you don't want people trying to watch a concert and the way the sun sets there, so we want to be careful of that too. And we want to be able to get power to it coming where the existing power is now without spending a lot of money either. But we would control the power too, like she's talking, so once that concert is done, you shut it down, lock it up. Then if somebody does want to have a wedding and needs power, you've kind of got their hand, so you got to have the green stuff before you turn the power on.
Right.
So it kind of helps that way.
Yeah,
So.
I know years ago they had things set up that said spare change.
Right.
Just take your spare change and throw it in, and that would be good for the rec field.
Yeah.
A lot of people would do that.
Yeah.
I think it can be done without asking for a lot.
Oh, I do
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that. We're talking a lot of money.
Well, okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, yeah, thanks for putting it all together. That's a lot of time on your part. Okay, let's go back to item 7, unfinished business update on town manager search. No, we don't have one yet. We're waiting. We've got another round of ads out. We'll be interviewing again in 3 weeks. So, cross your fingers, and if you got some incense, light it and burn it. Moving on to item 8B. Patterson septic contract. We have to have one of these every year, and so I'd like to make a motion that we, for the sum of $550, have a contract with Patterson Septic Tank Pumping of Abbott to be our designated dumping ground. So, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion.
Yeah, I read on it. Yeah, I understand we have to have it, but I'm still highly confused of why we have to do that. Other than the state says so, that's all
I
I'll
think
say.
it's subsidizing the guys to keep the fields because it
I
doesn't.
do too.
Because you can use any pumper you want,
Sure.
and he can take it wherever he wants.
It
But
has
the-
nothing to
each
do with
town
anybody
has
pumping
to.
their septic.
No, it's the state law. You have to do it.
Doesn't make any sense.
Do you actually
But we
spend
don't
that
put it
money
up a
every year?
bid.
Pardon?
Does that money get spent every year?
Yep, every year we sign a
just
It's
give
different
it a
contract.
contract.
been the same price for
Everybody.
many years.
All right, guys,
No,
sign that
I'm
one.
not.
No, I'm perfect.
Okay, let's take a vote.
Yes.
All right, that's 3-0.
Yeah.
So me, Dale, 3-0. Okay.
Then we can- That would be
I
you
would
would use it.
500. Well, what are you going to do when the first guy shows up to use it?
Yeah, no, I'm changing my mind.
That's what I was thinking. I thought you were changing.
I gave you $500 back.
That's what I thought.
Okay, next one on the agenda is Hamlin Associates contract. We have to have an assessor. So the sum of money this year is the same as it was last year. They didn't go up on us. And we are $15,760. I make a motion that we approve. Dale seconds. Let's take a vote. All right. I'm the only one who has to sign this one. This is 126, 17. Echo Salvina. And now for everybody's favorite moment of the evening, the Piscataquis County Assessor's return. They would like us to sign that we acknowledge that we are going to pay them $113,005 this year. I make a motion to approve. Not
Which
that
is
we
a
have-
reduction.
Yes, it is lower, but their entire budget went up. If you look at the entire budget, go on the website, look at the website, they went up.
Yeah.
But we went down because that has to do with our valuation, so it's swinging our way for a little while. But just wait, the time
They'll get
they
us.
do the valuation again on us, it'd be when they build the jail. They'll nail us hard. So make a motion we approve. Dale second. I'll do Dale and Mike this time just for variety. Okay.
They said when I was here.
Huh?
I'll leave my hand out. You get
Let's
that.
take a vote.
Yes.
There we go. All right. And you guys all have to sign this one because you are technically the assessors around here. All right. Then the next one's a lot more fun. Item E, request for towing reimbursement. You guys all got the scans of that. They would like to be reimbursed because we towed them out of our parking lot because we couldn't plow around them. So, in our traffic ordinance that we passed back in the fall, no vehicle shall be parked in a town lot between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. and no vehicle shall remain parked in a public way from November 15th to May 15th when there's snow removal going on. So we were well within our rights to have it towed, and I don't see any reason to reimburse them. And that's my position.
If this occurred tomorrow, would we tow it again?
Yes,
I think that pretty much answers it.
yes. So I make a motion to deny.
I'm
Okay.
wondering if we should maybe talk about some different signage.
Yeah, the people involved have been told they can go up and park at the Abbey Fowler, and maybe we need to hang a sign on the front door out here to say that if you need to use this for town lot for parking, you're not sure.
Because I would have thought that we wouldn't have towed it. Just if there's a little bit of snow on it, doesn't mean that we would have towed it. But if we would, then
I got there at
Well,
the
that's what I
tail
was-
end of it.
I was
and-
confused because everything that I was told from them that they got here at 5:30 in the morning and wasn't here overnight.
Yeah, I know. I heard that
So-
too. I have no way of knowing what time they're here. I got here about 10 o'clock in the morning. and
based on
that's-
the order, it wouldn't matter when they got here.
Right.
If we decided that we're going to plow this
They have
and
to get it.
it's unattended,
They got to get it out of the way.
we could tow it.
Right. He
Now,
was-
maybe we
he was-
shouldn't do that, but right now that's the way it reads.
He was wrong one way or the other. And then we got another situation that when we get to road commissioners to talk about too, because Warren's got some issues going on too. So,
But maybe we need a sign that says, for town office business parking only.
oh yeah, that would,
Ever.
that
Because
would,
we're
That would eliminate any conversation.
yeah, that would. Do you guys
I
want?
think it's-
You need
to be
make
fair to
an
citizens.
amendment to that.
Yes.
We need to change this verbiage and get a sign that says that, if that's what we want to do.
Is that what you guys want to do? I have no objection to
I
that.
think
That's the only way to fix it.
it's a fairer way to fix it. Because I could see a couple
Yeah,
things.
you're not gonna get the sign in this winter.
No,
So,
no.
I mean, this could
fixing
be
a problem.
something on your to-do list for the summer, to come back to it later in the
Yep.
summer.
Yep. That's a good idea.
Because I can write it up in the minutes of the meeting, so it's there. And
Yep.
if you guys review, you can go back to it again.
Right.
Okay?
I agree.
So, I did make a motion to deny, and anybody second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Let's take a vote. Okay. All right. And we'll get a letter to them. We did, they didn't really, oh yeah, they did leave us a contact place. All right, now, item 9, Board of Road Commissioners. Put on your other hats. This is the Public Works update. So, Pete, do you have anything you want to tell us?
What do you need to know?
How, are you a groundhog? Have you seen your shadow yet? When is spring coming?
Not too soon,
No.
No, just been moving snow.
Yeah, I like, you did a good job out here in the front. That hump is gone. That's really good. We threw somebody down last week. It wasn't good. So, all right. The other things we're going to talk about. This discussion of cars on roads during snowstorms. That is because Warren went off the road last week, or the beginning this week. There was a car left in the road on Bean Hill. I guess they were shoveling the driveway while they were doing it, but they didn't leave any lights on in the car, and it was very early in the morning. And he ended up off in the ditch, and it took him a long time to get out. And apparently this is an ongoing, he's been fighting with this guy for like a long time over this. So he would like us to put an ad in the newspaper informing everybody just what the ordinance says, that you can't leave your cars on the public roads during snow removal. And I guess the guy was really rude to him and behaved in a very ungentlemanly fashion. And the other thing is Warren intends to get with the sheriff's deputies because they can cite him for having his car out there. And when I talked to Warren, I told Warren I thought he should.
That's kind of, it's almost like a boundary dispute.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
the sheriff deal with it.
Yeah, let the sheriff deal with it.
Yeah.
So the question to you guys is, do you want to put an ad in the paper or not?
I don't know what it would be for a friendly reminder, but my bigger pet peeve, if you're gonna do it at the same time, is a reminder for people to stop plowing snow across the road.
We could have 2.
Or do it all in
One.
verbiage, because
Yeah.
we've got some people on my road that
Yeah.
are really bad about that.
You don't
So-
have half as many here in town.
Oh, I went through it that much last night, Pete, going home, not kidding you. One person. If we would have been a car, you would not have gone through. So
It's everywhere.
And they left.
No, I know. But I mean, that's getting.
But that's, again, that's against the law.
It is
You can't
against
do
the
it.
law.
But nobody enforces it.
We certainly can put it on the website.
We do, really?
Okay.
You know, and in fact, we even can take some nice little pictures of what you're not supposed to do.
Oh, that would be fun too. Sure. Sure.
I think that's probably a pretty, because again, if you see this, really we should call the sheriff.
Yeah.
Because he'll go visit them.
Yes, they will. Do you want to put it in?
Just to let you know, most of it is not even the homeowner. It's who they hired to plow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
those are the ones that they should be going after.
Yep, you're right.
Or
I don't care if it's posted per se that costs us money. I mean, if we could do it something decent on the website, something on a piece of paper for Robinson's wall, which obviously would be the talk of the town.
Oh yeah.
Town office door at the post office.
Yep. Like that could be worked
Yeah, in
out.
fact, if we did something on the website, we could print a copy of it, take it up for Robinson's.
That would be great.
I
And
think
then we get a
that
picture, and we could even do stage a little thing in my own driveway.
If you wanted, prior to sending the cops after him, and you could, if you had a kind of a form letter that could be mailed to the landowner or given to the landowner.
I don't even care about that, honestly.
No.
It's illegal, it's period.
Yeah, if Warren sees one, he should call the sheriff.
Okay. I think
Because
he's.
someone's gonna get hurt.
If Pete's got a landowner that's, I mean, it's a constant problem.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it should be a phone call.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not the sheriff's department's gonna go out there and cite him, or go give him a warning, that's up to them, but
Yeah.
that's not up to us.
According to Warren, I don't remember which one he talked to. He talked to one of the deputies, and they said that they give out these citations all the time. That it's a,
Sure they do.
this
That's
time of year,
right.
so. Okay, so Mike's gonna take care of getting it
We'll get it on the
Publicized.
website, and
website and publicized. Thank you. All right, that's all right, next issue is grading. do we want to hire a grader to scrape the ice off of East Sangerville Road? And there's some serious, I got 2 phone calls today, again, complaining about East Sangerville.
I went over after you stopped by, and I went down the Dover Road, Shaw, Line Road. And when I got to our end of the Line Road, Chris was coming out, so he and I talked. The Shaw and the Line Road on the Dover end was just as bad as that road. But Chris he said, hey, I'll bring a grader in here, it's no problem. So if you guys want to do it, he was great. And I said that we would talk about it. And then I drove the road, and the road's bad, but it's not any worse than the other roads. But he texted me, he said, I'm putting a grader in there tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I said, thank you very much.
Okay, so you,
What road you talking about?
East Sangerville.
The East Anvil Road itself, or?
Yeah, that up
Well, I
from,
heard Line Shaw Road, so.
Well, that's where I met him. And I was just making the comparison between the Line and the Shaw Road, particularly Dover's end of the Line Road, was no better than, I mean, they're all fighting the same problem.
right.
Well, that's not a road compared to Hot Top Road.
The hot top roads are the ones that where the big.
Where you don't have sun, it's a mess.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
The piece after Flanders Hill, you saw it, I mean, that's like
That's,
Go through Guilford.
the Mirkwood.
yeah. Now, my second question is, we have never had to, put a grader out in this 6 years. I know what's been going on. So, does the town want to pick up part of the cost of that to help defray that for Newt?
I think that'd be very fair.
I think it would be too.
I do too, because I don't think it's negligent on their behalf.
No,
I mean,
it isn't.
every town is fighting the same problem.
In fact, for what it's worth, his attitude was excellent.
Yeah.
He
Lawrence was
just
too.
smiled and said, whatever you guys need, I'll do.
Yeah.
I said, that's great.
Yeah. So how much do you want to do, half, or do you want to do all of it?
Let's split it with him.
I'm gonna abstain. You guys do what you want to do.
No,
Well,
you're
there
not
is no
going to play,
saying.
you are not, no, you're not
Well, I
playing.
mean, I
Here's how you
just, I
just sit there.
seriously,
No.
well, no, I mean,
No, no.
obviously I buy hay off from the guys and things of that nature, and you're talking about funding out another side project. I mean, I seriously don't
He
think
didn't
it's
ask
their
for a
bill.
dime.
No, I know he
And I
didn't
know
ask
they
for
didn't
that.
ask, so personally, I don't think they should have to pay for it, but
I don't think they should have to pay for it either. I'd like to see the town pick up the whole thing.
No, but I'm not going to go against it. I think that's fair.
Because this is
No,
just,
and
it's just
particularly
been
since he was willing to do it.
a terrible one. I think they were talking about, what's the guy that's doing Abbott?
He's got
Lawson.
Steve's grader. He's going to drive Steve's grader.
Okay,
Steve took the chains off it. They're driving it down from Abbott, and he's going to do it tomorrow.
that works, okay. So,
Yep.
yeah.
I just want to throw this out there because I'm playing devil's advocate. If you do 2 roads, you're going to hear from all the other roads.
No,
I'm playing devil's advocate.
No, they need to keep going. It needs to go down Silver's Mills. There's a section on the back
I would say
side.
we need to talk to Chris, tell him we're going to help, we're going to do this.
We're gonna do it. Keep going until you do as much as you can.
Hit the bad ones.
Yeah, he knows where the bad
Yeah,
spots
he
are. We don't have to tell him.
absolutely knows where they are.
Yeah.
because really, I mean, for like me going in, there's only, yes, I mean, there's little ice here or there, but I would say there's only 2 spots, and they're not that long. That are,
Once you pass Irving's, boy, it goes bad quick.
yes, and then it opens right back up
Yeah.
again.
That
so.
piece from Flanders over to Dowdy is the Mirkwood. It's just
It is.
awful.
Yeah, it is. And see, the woman that was complaining, she was the one, her niece went off the road and went into premature labor and all of that. So, yeah, we've got
Hands up.
issues. Yeah, it is.
Peter was first.
Pay that.
Who's gonna be liable for any damages done to the road? If Chris is driving it and Lawson's equipment,
I guess we are. It happened.
Yeah, I mean,
Who's gonna be
if he
liable?
damages a
Yeah.
road with a snowplow,
Why
does he
we-
pay for it?
We can hold it. No,
he
the way
doesn't.
the way
Okay.
the contract.
Would it be any different?
you gotta have liability insurance before you can even be on it, if you're gonna do it that way.
Do we have Lawson on
Yeah.
file? We have Lawson on file.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We do?
Yes. Okay.
Or, since when?
They have a liability insurance, and matter of fact, Noreen made sure they had that.
Yeah. Doreen's been on a tear to make sure
Yeah.
every contractor that works with us has the liability.
Lawson's never worked for her.
It's in there. We can go and look at it.
Well, that's good, but I just wanna know.
Yeah, the
find
way
out who's
the
gonna
way
be
the new
liable.
contract's written, we can hold them liable for damage to anything that they damage. But
You're gonna
He
tell
said
them
to me,
if we're gonna tell them to do it, we can.
It's a catch-22, you're playing with fire.
he said to me if his
I
wasn't
don't disagree
broken,
with you.
enough on them roads and haven't seen any improvement on those roads, so why are we gonna spend more?
Because we're getting a lot of complaints, and you know that it's a bad winter. You can only tell people that so long. There's a certain
One
point.
is not any different than any other.
Well, I think a day where you get 4 inches of sleet is an unusual winter. I
We
really
had
do.
that last year.
it's if you get the right vehicle, it's not unsafe. But you wouldn't want to go down through there with a Corvette.
It's
So,
the same conversation that Jimmy said earlier. Nobody's slowing down. I think we was talking about that before the meeting started. Everybody wants to do 70 miles an hour. They don't care if it's snowing. They don't care if there's ice on the road.
I didn't have any
That doesn't
problem
mean,
getting around the
I
loop.
kind of understand what he's saying. That doesn't mean you should go out and spend extra money with a grader. I understand where he's coming from. That.
Well, we just spent, how much does 2 loads of salt cost us?
Right. We just put that out to
That
get.
2 loads of salt's gone already in 3 weeks.
And by the way, why did you buy red salt instead of white? I've been asked that.
You get what you get.
Red salt, who's colorblind?
We had somebody come in the office and complain because we got red salt instead of white salt, and it wasn't as good.
He did say, if I said, I don't want to ask you to do it just because we can make you do it. I said, what do you think? He said, if mine wasn't broken, I'd be using it today.
Yeah.
So I thought that meant in his judgment, he could improve it with a grader. So
His has been broken for, what, 4 years now?
that wasn't really the point. But he could have obfuscated and said, I don't want to do it. It would have saved him money. He wasn't doing that.
Well, if we just tell Chris to do the bad spots, you know, but make sure you get all over town with doing the bad spots.
You gotta, yeah, you just can't.
And I mean, get up on McFeeters Road. I guess I've heard.
Yeah, some of them is just 100 yards.
Yeah, it's just a really shady section,
Yeah.
and then the rest of it's okay. But you know, I personally, I mean, my car going down with the dips. I mean, I have to be careful, or I'll bust up the air dam.
Yeah, no, you're right. That type of vehicle, you got to pick your way through.
And I do.
Yeah.
So, I still say we should do it. Are you hanging with me, or did you change your mind?
I'm not changing my mind. I've already voiced my opinion on what I think.
Dude,
about it, so.
I am in favor of it because the guy we're contracting with says he would do it.
Okay.
And in fact, he already said he would do it. So
Okay, so I'll make a motion to get it done, and we pay, and the town pays for it. Do I have a second?
second.
Let Mike second that.
Second.
Okay.
I'll vote for it.
All right, let's take a vote.
Just me.
All right, we're gonna do it.
Are you running the tractor and Chris is doing it for free? Or is that the understanding, or
Way it should be.
are you gonna pay?
I'm not paying Chris to do it. That's part of his plow contract.
I understand that, but when you could pay a bill to Lawson, is Lawson gonna charge you a greater rate with an operator or a greater rate without an operator?
You gonna work out that details with Chris?
Yeah, I'll talk to Chris about it. That's a fair question. But you know, we're giving him something he didn't ask for.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure
he's going to be very fair with us.
Yeah, I'm sure
They've done this in the past on their own, so.
Yeah, we didn't ask him. He called me, he texted me and said, I'm going to grade tomorrow. He'd already committed to do it. So,
He said that a week ago too, and it hasn't happened.
and he explained to me that Lawson had it in Abbott. And on that one, he talked to Dale and I, and we kind of dissuaded him from that.
I said
At that
everything
time.
you said. Honestly,
Yeah.
almost verbatim was the conversation that I said.
And I think didn't you talk to Tom? And he said the same thing about if we do one road, everybody wants them done, so I don't do any of them. So, I mean, that's not an
And that's
unheard
what
of
happened.
philosophy.
Guilford did 1 or 2 roads. They went out through Guilford Center, but they didn't do. I mean, all I travel in Guilford right now is Oak Street, and that's 6 inches of ice right now.
I know Dexter, they did
If
for
you got
sure.
a car, have fun getting the medical center. It's bad.
So I'm good with it.
Okay, so we made a decision. Excellent. So, anything else that we need to talk about in roads? No? Okay. Let's move on.
My road is good.
I could.
I love that.
It is, he pushed back the banks today, it's smooth, but
No,
I
ours
don't
is
do it
good,
wrong,
that's
so.
Oh, so just before it came, right, I'm getting supper, right, and the phone rings, and this lady out in East Sangerville, he went past 4 or 5 times a day, and the last time through, he hit my mailbox. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got that
You
one
can't
too.
win this one. You absolutely can't win this one. So,
I love being busy with all this stuff for work now because,
My call forwarding goes to you from now.
no, because it's all going to you guys instead of me.
That's my call forwarding back there. Here, Brent. All right, so item 10, appointments, none. Item 11, reports, none. Item 12, consent item, treasurer and payroll warrants. I make a motion that we approve 2016 warrant number 224 and 2017 warrants number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12, and number 13. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mike. Discussion. Let's take a vote. Okay, 3-0. Abatements and supplements, none. Executive session, none. Adjournment. I make a motion. We adjourn at 7:50.
You guys should go to school, boy.
Okay.
Peter.
Just one question. What
Yeah.
happened to posting the agenda?
I didn't get it written until this morning because I was having technical difficulties with my computer.